Merry Christmas, and welcome to another edition of Greatness Quest. Yeah, I know it's ridiculous that I'm wearing this getup, but today I've got some amazing guys I want to introduce you to, and this is the
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Because these guys have an amazing business that they focused on a passion of theirs, and it took them away from the 9 to 5. It gave them total freedom so that they can do what they love every day, and it's crazy because people always want that. Like that's the gift, that's the magic, that's what we all want for Christmas. And these guys are living it, and they actually we've been friends now for a few months. They're my clients now because they want to take their business to the next level. They just started a podcast from what they were doing online. So without any further ado, these are my new business partners and good friends, Danny and Scotty Bonin. Guys, thank you for being here.
Hey, thans for having us, Trevor.
Yeah, thanks for having us, man. We much obliged.
Well, guys, I know we're doing ridiculous with the Christmas stuff here, but it is Christmas, and you guys have a nightmare niche. You know, the Cult Classic Horror Show is the new podcast that we launched together, and these guys are the magic behind it. I'm like behind the scenes, like, yeah, do it, do it.
Yeah, so, I'd say you're more than behind the scenes because, man, you've really helped us a lot with pushing us. Yeah. You're Super Santa.
I'm super. That's right. I'm Super
Santa.
Super Santa masked, ready to help.
So you
save the day.
You definitely, with your energy overflowing, helps us to get stuff done. It's awesome.
You push us to the next level.
I'm excited to have you on the show. You're the second client I've ever had on my show. And I love it because I get to showcase your success. Now, you guys were successful before you came to me, and I want everybody to know about what you created online and how you use Facebook to make money and profit in a niche. Let's go ahead and real quickly talk about a little bit of your accomplishments about where you brought your brand online before we got started with the podcast, which I can't wait to tell everybody about because I'm excited about the future of your brand. But what did you guys create online, and how did we, and just tell everybody real quick.
Yeah, what we've created is a super niche store online, and not only a single store, but also a range of niches. So our biggest niche that we can talk about is the Evil Dead fan club. So that's a store we run on Shopify. The Evil Dead is an awesome B horror movie that we all love, and Scotty and I just love it. And so we've created sort of a merchandising site around it where we've created custom apparel, custom gear, and even partnered with a few people, a comic book publisher. We even sent orders off to the Starz Network because they're now doing a series. They're bringing back the Evil Dead into a series right now. So it's been great. Yeah.
So you guys built up a fan page around, like, one of the niches you have, and your biggest one, and the ones that are closest to your heart is the Evil Dead fan club. And I think you built that fan page up to a certain number, so go ahead and tell everybody that. And then you started selling merchandise and specific things to these niches about what they love most, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we have the fan page, it's
like 50,000?
50,000 fans we have on there.
50,000? I thought it was 30,000.
It keeps growing.
It grows every day, like by the thousands. So so many fans have been pouring in, and we've been promoting a lot. So it's been a really great success for us.
And basically, we just wanted to sell stuff that we would wear. There's a lot of there's a lot of official gear out there that'll just have the movie poster on a shirt.
Right.
But instead of doing that, we wanted to make it sort of like the more inside joke you can make an apparel item in a niche, the more they're going to buy it. So if we just put like a artwork, some image, and then a quote from the movie, then people go crazy over it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's those true fans that it clicks with them.
No one's
like
going to get this unless they're a fan, and that's how we're going to relate to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, I'm wearing this is as horror as I have in my arsenal right now is my new Star Wars bad guy on my t-shirt. So
I love it.
You guys have to hook me up with some real serious, ridiculous. Do you have any garb right now to show everybody like the type of stuff?
Yeah, we'll
send
you some Evil Dead stuff.
This is I mentioned we did a big order for Starz Network. They got our Christmas sweaters. So that's one of our Christmas sweaters.
And what is that representing? What is so?
Can you see it?
Basically, there's a hand in the middle.
Yeah.
In the movie, he cuts off his hand, and his hand is its own little evil creature. And then there's just little things in the movie. There's a cabin. There's
Here, I can show it.
Scott,
Got it.
see my Vanna White
So you guys, that's very good, Scotty. I think this is your best angle right here.
chainsaw.
I'll just cover my face. You don't need to see this ugly mug.
But
there we go.
If I could, one other, put that down.
Yeah.
Got the Book of the Dead.
Like
in there.
here's a good example of what I was just talking about.
Okay.
Here's some artwork from the movie. A guy with his blood on his face says, "Who's laughing now?" Now, if you've not seen the movie, you're probably gonna be like, "What the heck is that guy wearing?" But if you have seen it, a fan walking by is gonna go, "Dude, dude!"
This is when he cuts off his hand and gets blood all in his face. And, see, we need to send you this shirt, man. This is
All right.
classic.
That's what I need. So, and by the way, everybody who's watching right now, I always ask my guests to come up with a cool gift that they can give away. So, what is and I really think I want people to get something from your store. So I know you have, we have the Cult Classic Horror store. So they can go to our horror store. If they go to cultclassichorror.com, you can find the new podcast that these guys created. And I know you're going to give us a coupon code. So go to greatnessquest.com / let's make it easy, CCH. No, it will be greatnessquest.com / horror. That'll be it. Horror.
There you go.
And
nice
then
and easy.
We'll give you a coupon code so you can get a discount on some of the merchandise, and that you can pick out whatever you want. So what's the discount that they're going to get? Because I didn't actually get that cleared up with you guys.
We'll just do half off, 50% discount.
Yeah, 50% discount off any. They can get a hoodie,
off their
shirts.
entire order.
Oh, yeah, or if they want to order more than just one thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. So that's like almost cost for you guys. So that's bitching. We're going to take a quick break. Welcome back. We are on the
Nightmare Before Christmas.
But it's also an amazing present to everybody, because we're going to talk about how you can make money in a niche, because these guys have done it and they don't have to work a normal 9 to 5. So Danny and Scotty Bonin, how the hell are you making that happen? And let's be specific. Let's talk money. Like, you don't have to go work a 9 to 5. Tell me something that's happening magically with this bank account of yours.
Yeah.
This Christmas has been magical.
Yeah. Obviously, in the online retail business, Christmas is a big season. But aside from that, we sort of dabbled in this starting last year. And we were seeing, just to give you an idea, I pulled up our revenue for the last 90 days. It splits it out by month. So our first 2 months, we've only had this store for about 90 days, maybe a little bit more now. But at the time when I pulled it up, the first 2 months, we had a combined revenue of maybe like $10,000 or so. And then just in the last month, it's been closer to $30,000, $27,000. And that's just one leg of our business. That's our Evil Dead fan club store. We also have another leg where we sell in many different niches. We don't necessarily have our own website for all of them, but we sell through third-party sites. And we've done another $30,000 in revenue this last month in that. So it's been a blessing.
It's been like 60,000 within the last month. Yeah.
What'd you say, Scotty?
It's been about 60,000 within the last month between our
Evil Dead
business,
and then our other niches.
our other side of the business. Yeah.
All right. So now a lot of that has to do with your ongoing promotion, because you've been doing your business now so let's give people context. Like, how long have you been actually doing this? Because you mentioned one part of one store you launched 90 days ago, and you made 10 grand in the first couple of months there, but you had a starting point. So let's give people perspective. So how did you get started in all this, and how long have you been at it before you created that result? And it sounds like you're going up and up on success. So it's just getting better and better. But let's start backwards.
We spent some time in network marketing because Scotty got us into that.
Yeah, this was like, I guess, almost 3 years ago?
3 years ago now.
3 years ago, he was actually a fireman. And I was dibble-dabbling. I wanted to make money from home, and I was like, "Hey, Dan, we should check out this network marketing business."
Dibble-dabbling. I don't know what dibble-dabbling is. But
Dibble-dabble, So we went through like 2 or 3 network marketing businesses before we hit the e-commerce.
And we struggled there, and then we finally started doing a little bit of e-commerce last January. So almost a year now, and we were little by little making money because we didn't barely make any money in network marketing. So we started in January. It just sort of rose slowly.
January 2014?
Yep.
Wait.
No. 2015.
2015? You've only
Yeah.
been at this a year?
Yep.
Yep, that's the e-commerce.
The e-commerce side.
The
We were-
e-commerce side. Man, hold on. Hold
Network
the
marketing 2
phone.
years before that.
So you have a in 12 months, because this is basically Christmas. In 12 months, you guys launched an online you started as selling online merchandise, an e-com store. You built more than one niche, but your biggest niche right now and what you love most is the Evil Dead fan club, which is now a Facebook page that grows by thousands every day. You have 50,000 people on that page, and you now just raked in a lot more money lately than you did in the last previous month. So it's going up and up and up every month.
Yes.
And we never knew.
And now we have an awesome podcast.
Yeah, we have an awesome podcast now too.
Well, and
this
the books.
and this is our passion. We love this, and we make money with it. So it's like couldn't be better. You
Okay,
know?
everybody's pissed off at you guys right now. Okay, so if somebody's to go ahead and if you were to make a recommendation, because I want to get more into your story on how it happened, and I just learned something. I thought you guys were at this for more like 2 or 3 years on e-com, so that's pretty cool. If someone were to try to duplicate your success in a passion or niche that they have, what would you actually recommend to them? Because you guys just walked it in the last 12 months. That's freaking awesome.
I would tell them to pick something that is real specific, that they're passionate about, and that they know. Like, think about if they were to, just like I sort of explained before, if they were to see someone wearing an apparel item, a shirt, maybe a necklace, that had to do with a certain niche walking down the street, and not everyone knew that, and they knew that. That's how specific it needs to be. Like, people need to relate to each other almost on an inside joke level, and then they can monetize that. Once you learn that, now we're getting a little more broad than that, you know, fishing, things like that. But once you learn that it's the specific as you can get is a good place to start, because there is money there, just not huge, massive money, but it's learning money.
But it's great to get a good start with that.
So you're not discouraged the whole time.
And you love doing it. You
Well,
know?
and what's awesome is you guys are, I mean, I've heard of the Evil Dead, but I'm not what I would say a fan by any stretch. You know, when you started sharing me some of the clips, and Scotty, I asked you to come up with like a free gift of the 12 bloodiest scenes in
most
horror,
gruesome scenes,
or most gruesome, and I couldn't. I'm like, it just freaked me out.
They were pretty gruesome.
That was like, this is not. I haven't really been into horror since I was probably a teenager with like old Freddy Krueger stuff. But what's really cool about it for me is just hearing the specificity of the niche, Danny, which you just shared. But that how many freaking people are into your thing? Like 50,000 people. So even though the movie's been out forever, and there's like what, Evil Dead 4, 5, 6, 2000, and now there's a new whole season coming.
Yeah.
Series coming up, yeah.
But you've got such a cool thing that's grown, and Scotty's saying that that's growing every day. And Danny, you were saying that knowing it really well, you know, is real important about talking to your ideal client. And you said you built stuff that you would want. You said, well, I want a t-shirt. I want a hoodie. I want that. I wish. So that's just cool, because a lot of people think whatever they're into, I might be the only freak that's into it. So talk a little bit about that, because you went targeting, like you targeted what you loved, which is what you said, be very specific, something you know really well. But then how the hell do you find so many freaking people that are into this little thing? Because it was not me. Like, I'm not your guy. I love you guys, but I'm like, I don't want to see every episode of the most gruesome scenes.
Yeah.
It freaks me out.
It's really,
Totally.
I mean, that's where Facebook came in for us, and probably maybe a lot of your listeners are familiar with Facebook, but you can literally target every little thing on there. For us, we go on there, we say fans of, you know, people who like the Evil Dead, people who like Evil Dead 2. So as long as your interest is specific enough that you can name it, and then it's targetable. People who like basket weaving, you know.
Yeah, it could be anything.
Which is your other passion.
We got a wide variety. There's such a big fan base of this Evil Dead series. We were just blown away because we're such big fans, and there's thousands out there. So.
I guarantee you, if it's there on Facebook, you just got to look for it.
Okay, so it's the magic of the targeting that you can get with Facebook to put ads and messaging right in front of your ideal target. very specific niche. We're going to take another quick break and be back.
For the Nightmare Before Christmas.
Hey guys, we are finding out how you can start with a passion, a very specific niche, and find that person online who's just as excited about this stuff as you are, and then you put stuff in front of them and you can build a real business from it. These guys have done it in the last 12 months. So we let's come to the podcast. So you guys built up a fan page and several different niches, but on something you totally loved, and then you found them on Facebook with your specific marketing. And then did you guys get an automatic ROI on that, by the way? In January, when you started, did you just start getting making money or what?
The beauty of it is that it is so specific. And if you get something you know that they love because you love it, because you're in the niche, you sort of do. And not that it was like a big profit right away, but it was at least a break-even type thing where we were covering expenses. You know, it was like spend a couple $100, make a couple $100, and it was sort of like that for. It was a learning curve, so maybe 2 months, 3 months, or more, where we're pretty much just spending what we're making. But coming from the network marketing world, that was just amazing.
That's like gold
like,
right
holy
there.
Crap!
Right, and I know a lot of people that make good money in network marketing, but they're the minority.
Yeah.
And it is in anything. If you're riding a bike, you still have to figure it out at first. And you guys had a 2-3 month up ramp time. And I'm thinking of what the moving parts are here. So you had a very specific niche. You found those people, and you knew a lot about it. You found those people on Facebook using some Facebook ads, right?
Yep.
So you had to learn how to place a Facebook ad and how to target that person. And then you had to figure out the ad to the offer. And in merchandise, you started in t-shirts, is that right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So you started making a t-shirt you would wear, like the example you just gave me.
Oh yeah.
And something that was interesting to you, and you put it out there, and it had a positive ROI, or it started breaking even right away. So that was the first moving parts.
Yes. Yep. We hired a designer on Fiverr for our first few designs. Now we have a full-time guy on Upwork and a few other people.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, we hired. It's as simple as that. You hire a designer on Fiverr. A lot of people get lost in Facebook ads, but really the secret is if you're going specific enough, there's just that one interest to target, and that's how simple it is. Like a lot of people are racking their brains going through fishing interests, narrowing it down to brands, narrowing it down to stores, narrowing it down. When really, if we're targeting Evil Dead, we're just targeting people who like Evil Dead. That's all there is.
It's one.
If you get specific enough, that's all there is.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got real specific. You ran an ad
Yep.
showing your t-shirt, your product, to your exact niche. You just kept it simple. You had to figure out how to make a t-shirt. So in this case, you went to Fiverr. That suggests $5 to design a shirt, a design. And one of my clients is Sunfrog, and they have this great platform to sell t-shirts, and you don't have to make a design. You can just go there and pick one and then run the ad to it.
Yeah.
And that's a whole strategy as well, where you don't have to design the perfect one. You can look and you can actually sort and say, what's already selling really well? Ooh, that one.
And because of your advice, actually, we've been uploading all our old designs to Sunfrog, so that people can choose those and do that.
Yeah,
Man,
I got like 8 or 9 shirts up there right now.
Bastards, taking my advice. Son of a, you making money?
Gotta go where the money flows, right? No.
That's awesome. All right, so then you have the moving part of needing to make a shirt. Now, if you didn't want to design one, go to Sunfrog.com, go to Sunfrog Shirts, and you just go pick out a shirt you like, put an ad in front of someone, and then the 2-3 months, though, you were learning about running ads, learning about the ads that would convert and the designs that would convert, and learning how to communicate with your audience. Is that right, or am I making that up?
No, that's true. I mean, and I say 2-3 months, but really we're still just learning all the time.
Yeah,
But before we actually were like, oh hey, let's pay ourselves $100 this month.
Yeah.
That's like where the 3rd, 4th month came in. But yeah, it was definitely learning the audience. I mean, we knew them pretty well already.
Yeah,
because we're
you
fans.
are them in this case.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
like,
we
okay,
are
hold
them.
on.
We have the fan page.
And let me just cover this. These guys are twins, so we've got and Danny, you've got hair up there,
a little
right?
bit.
So, and Scotty, I noticed.
I'm clean shaved.
Yeah, is that what it is? Just keeping it real?
Keeping it real. No hair up there.
So you're twins, but not the identical style.
Fraternal twins.
Fraternal
That's
twins,
right.
yep.
Yeah,
Thankfully,
okay.
we don't look alike.
Have you guys come up with a horror brother name yet for yourselves?
We're still kind of in the
You know,
works for
we
that.
haven't. A while back, when we were like doing, our family owns a dinner theater. We used to put on concerts. We used to call ourselves Blood Brothers Productions. So it could be Blood Brothers. I don't
Blood
know.
Brothers.
that could be
Yeah, I
something.
like it.
You got the blood brothers, you know.
I think it's good. Well, and I like your emphasis, Scotty. The blood. You got the blood, of course.
Yeah,
The Blood
yeah.
Brothers.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? Okay, so I went to Fiverr and I found a guy to do some Photoshop work on you guys, and I've shared this image with you, but I'm gonna pop it on the screen. So Alex, please put that on the screen to show. Actually, I think you guys are flip flopped in the picture.
Oh yeah.
But we just did it where there's.
I'm like
Scotty's missing his arm. Or
His
something.
arm's gone, his chest
I have
caved
like
in.
jagged teeth.
Yeah, so I think it's all right. I probably could see a better design, but I think that's kind of cool.
I think we could go with the Blood Brothers theme. It looks all zombie-fied and stuff.
Exactly.
It's awesome.
So you guys are basically just been. This must be a pretty awesome 12 months. What does that actually feel like? Because holy crap!
It's the most working online for the last 3 years. It's the most money we've made, and it just feels great to actually like, hey, we can pay ourselves every week now and on a consistent basis, and the business keeps growing and growing and growing. So it's just been
It feels good not to. Feels good not to have my wife as mad at me
yeah.
for just doing our stupid thing in front of the computer while we make no money.
And we're actually making money now.
Right?
Instead of
Yeah,
not.
there's a big difference between when you have a check versus. Well, we broke even. Like, what are you doing with your...
Yep.
Hold on, honey. I have to go do more research because now I have a podcast. I have to go watch that new horror flick.
Exactly.
All right.
So yeah, it's the most amazing feeling ever that we're actually bringing a lot money in now, and we can support our families.
And obviously we're hungry for the next level, and that's why we're happy to be doing the podcast. And
Yeah.
so, although 12 months ago, if you said, hey, in 12 months, you're going to be paying yourself this much a week, you're going to have brought in this much money, I would have been like, oh, I'm set then. But now that we're there, it's sort of like, you almost don't notice it, and you're like, what's next? What are we doing next? You know?
Yeah.
So
and that's why
then-
this podcast has been great.
So we had Danny, you and I had dinner a few months ago when we started talking about the podcast, and what's really cool here is Danny didn't know what he had, and Scotty, you weren't there for this, but
Yeah.
Danny was like, man, I'm getting asked to do media. Like somebody asked to interview you, and you started getting interview requests on podcasts or for like a TV show with the success that you've had in your brand. And then we started talking about a book series around the horror niche, and that you guys are horror freaks, more of like the cult classic horror.
Cult classic.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so we started talking about your other opportunities for branding and marketing, where we talked about podcasting and a book series. And so what are you hoping to get from, why do you think somebody should start their own podcast, and what do you see that doing for you next year? Because this is brand new. We launched this in these guys are action takers, man. I said, you guys want to do it? They said, yes. And so 3 weeks later, we launched we have the highest tier of where we are on iTunes of your podcast.
Our genre.
Yeah, we keep
Exactly.
playing around in the top 10. We haven't hit that one spot, but every day, we're out of it, and then the next day we're in it, and then we're in it still, then we're out, then we're in.
But you guys hit it, man. You ordered all your equipment, so you guys ordered mics, and we planned your podcast out, and you've got a great. Okay, I got it. We're gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna take a break right now. You guys are gonna hear. We're gonna put the audio in right here. I want you to hear the intro to this, just the beginning of it.
Welcome to the Cult Classic Horror Show. Every week, you can have the conversations you've always wanted to have about the films you love.
And I'm not going to play the whole thing because because I want you guys to go check out the Cult Classic Horror podcast. And it's not just about the Evil Dead. It's about everything cult classic horror. And we've got several other niches that we're going to break off from there, like cult classic comedy, cult classic sci-fi. And so we're evolving this brand. But why do you think it's important to be a podcast? And why was that an important focus for you? That's a lot of work to do in 3 weeks and launch a best-selling podcast.
Literally, I think it's important because you have fun with it, and
That was my point.
it's not something that you have to do. It's like we look forward to doing it. We're like, oh, we get a bullshit around and hang out and talk about our passion, and we love doing it. It's not something that we gotta do this and this.
Yeah,
and that.
we watched a movie. I mean, as homework, we watched a movie yesterday and with commentary and took notes and then talked about it afterwards. I mean, how cool is that? So that is what you said is exactly right. For me, it's been the being in the niche and everything on Facebook is great, and selling apparel and T-shirts is great. But there's still a lot of admin or a lot of behind the scenes work where we're running ads on Facebook, we're crunching numbers. Mm-hmm. We're racking our brain for designs. But then sure, once you post something, you post a design, you post content, then the reward comes in because you're interacting with the fans, they're loving it, they're sharing it. So that's where the reward comes in. And the podcast is like that times 20. It's all fun where we just get to go. It's like taking our business to even more of a place where it doesn't feel like work anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you guys are such bastards. Like, so you're and every time I talk to you guys, there's just another success strategy that you guys have, or just pattern that you have. I don't partner with a lot of people that I end up working with, or that hire me in. But with you guys, I really wanted to, and I wanted to because you were so freaking positive all the time. Like, everything is, yes, let's go get him, Scotty. Like, you're like, yeah, sounds good. Like,
yeah, sounds good to me.
That sounds good. Let's do it.
No qualms here. Let's do it.
Let's launch it December 1st. All right, we're not going to sleep, but we'll get it done.
Let's knock out these episodes. Let's get these interviews.
And I'm a lot of times I'm trying to make someone money and let's monetize and let's get it to happen because I got to show that right away so they feel, because people are scared. You guys nobody like wakes up in the mornings and says, I can't wait to invest money in here you go, So, but I love it because from the very beginning, I'm just circling and putting a heart on my dang page about love and passion because you guys are so cool with this. Your podcast is freaking awesome. It makes me like horror. Like, I'm like, man, I want to check this stuff out. So, and you guys have a lot of fun on it, and you're getting to meet cool people. So not only are you guys talk a little bit about that. Who have you gotten to meet? You launched your podcast, and talk a little bit about how that gave you a doorway into new people that you can connect with.
Oh, we can't even believe it. We've got all these interviews.
Yeah, just to start with the interviews, I mean, talk about doing something you're passionate about or being in a niche that you love. We have interviewed 3 people from the original Evil Dead already. Now,
so we're in the movie.
If you're a fan of anything, of any movie, and you get to interview like this 3 of the main characters, that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
So for us, it was like, wow, like this is sort of a business, but at the same time, we get to talk to these people.
These are Hollywood actors we've interviewed already.
I mean, without the posture and positioning of the podcast or the brand we've built, we wouldn't have been able to talk to them. We would email them and say, hey, let's chat. They'd be like, who the hell are you? We don't want to talk to you. But now that we're like, well, we have this fan page of 50,000 people. We're launching this podcast to an email list of 3,000 buyers of your niche. And, they want to hear from you. So can we interview you?
We got a chainsaw from Stars.
Yeah.
Hold that right in front of Danny's face. I think that looks good. So they sent you the show sent you this little foam
so that's
thing.
Another meeting that happened because of all this, because of our branding, is that
sorry.
That looks like you're Scotty. You're like my daughter when she's like FaceTiming. She's sticking her head like right in the camera.
Yeah,
like, hey,
I had to get right
hi.
up in there.
Yeah, but we because of that now we have a connection to Stars Network. I mean the cable channel because they really liked our Christmas sweaters that we made, and because Ash vs. Evil Dead just came out on their network, they wanted to send out a gift to a lot of their VIP publicists and journalists, and so they said we want 200 of your your sweaters.
Hold on,
and then they
aren't you-
also
You wear your
they
tie.
ordered
You're
a-
now a publicist and a journalist. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
And then they ordered like 20 or 30 more. And then they did some contest giveaways on their Twitter page, the actual TV show. So here's the actual TV show with
Millions
with
of followers.
50,000 Twitter
yeah.
followers,
Yeah, okay.
500,000 followers on Facebook, advertising, give us your best Merry Ashmas. It was a contest, but give us your best whatever and win one of these 3 sweaters from Evil Dead Fan Club. And there's our logo right in the ad copy, and it's going out to hundreds of thousands of people,
That's
So
freaking
it's
awesome.
been awesome to just connect. What other fan? Some of these fans would kill to be recognized by stars putting on Ash vs. Evil Dead or talk to some of these people.
And interviewing people that
Yeah.
we've gotten, and who knows how they found us. I mean,
Yeah.
how stars found us, and and we were able to
Yeah.
get yeses from these actors. So
for the podcast.
for the
yeah.
podcast.
Well, and you're doing so when I'm looking at a business and I'm helping someone start something from scratch, which is what we're talking about here. You guys said, well, let's get into an e-com business because the network marketing thing isn't working for us, right? So then you started dabbling in it. You went after your passion. So I first start with, what do you want to sell? What do you want to do? What are you going to enjoy? Because as soon as you make a sale, you have to now go fulfill it. And thank God you guys chose something you like, because there's that admin stuff you have to figure out that isn't always awesome. But it's understanding what you want to do and focus on and all of that. That's that beginning part. But then you've got to start telling the world. You got to figure out what it is. Then you got to learn how to sell it. So it's like the foundation is how you're going to deliver what do you want to do. That's the foundation of a business. Are you going to sell? You're going to be doing massage? What are you going to do?
Exactly.
Do you want to do a whole million massages? Because that's, what do you want to do? And then you got to sell it. So it took a while to figure out what you're going to sell and make money on and monetize. Like you got to, hey guys, what are you selling? To who? Who are you going to sell it to? And then you started a broadcast. You started a place where people, you created a platform of connection and communication with your audience. You first have to say, fill the stadium with people and build a relationship with people. Then you can really monetize. And I guess that's where you're also seeing it now. Now that you have 50,000 fans, it's like at a whole nother level of monetization, and people find you because you have a community. So that's the broadcasting part. That's where we do the podcast. That's where you do your books, and you put yourself everywhere to keep filling your stadium and then keep entertaining and building a relationship. And you can monetize along the way, but that's never been a goal of for you guys, but it is a byproduct that's bitching. I just love that you guys are having success with it, and that I could kind of discover part of it on the show. Danny, I feel like you're about to say something while I was talking there.
No, I just was thinking in my head that that's exactly right. And once you go through that process you mentioned with like I said before, pick your favorite little niche, pick the thing you're specific about. And once you start doing it in that, your mind opens up and you're like, well, I love this too, so let's do it over here. And I love this too, so let's do it over here.
Okay, so let's talk about that because, so hold on. Go get the, if you go to greatnessquest.com/horror, you're going to get the 50% off coupon to go get anything from the Cult Classic Horror store or the Deadite Lounge. Go to cultclassichorror.com and check it out. Subscribe to the podcast. Please leave a comment. So it's Christmas. Do give us a gift and go check it out. Give yourself a gift, and you've got to go listen to the whole intro. And then they've got this really cool break in the middle where you hear like The Shining,
The
like
psycho shower.
Psycho. Yeah.
the psycho shower. That's what it is. And then the outro. You got to listen to a whole episode. These guys are great, and they're interviewing stars now. I've heard 2 of the episodes. I haven't heard the one that you did. Who was the third guest that you guys interviewed on your show?
Well, we interviewed a lady from Evil Dead, but it's releasing on the 23rd.
Oh, so it hasn't come out yet.
No, hasn't come out yet.
So the episode with Betsy Baker, I loved, by the way. She does that. What's Scotty? You do the what's she say in the show?
Oh, yeah. We're gonna get you. We're gonna.
She's in the
get
intro.
You. Not another peep. Yep.
Well, she
So
was.
she's the original one.
And
yeah.
what I loved is the 2 episodes I heard so far with who's the first actor? It's Danny.
Danny Hicks.
Danny
Danny
Hicks,
Hicks.
who played Jake in Evil Dead 2.
They were so cool to hang out with you guys, and they were fun, and they gave you a lot of like love and respect, and you know, you guys did a
Oh,
great job of like holding your own. Like, I'm like, this is your first show, you bastards. Like, you sound so natural, and the guys everybody loved you. And Betsy was like, hey, you have a home theater? Let's do a show we got to get together. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
I know. She's like, I want to come meet you guys.
But
Like,
because
okay,
you're
come on,
cool
that's cool.
and it's just you're into your niche, and you're not fake. You're not trying to pretend to be something you're not. And it's a great show. You got to go check it out. But I wanted to ask you about how you've taken this to other niches, because you said that the growth you saw in one store that you started a few months ago, you're like 30 grand, like it's just triple. And I know we're in a holiday season where more people want to buy, so that makes sense. But how have you taken this to other niches? And just give some examples of that, because you learned it. You said testing in the first couple of months. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. And now you're like, hey, we like this other thing, so talk about that.
Yeah. Well, we saw, we could grow it this big in the Evil Dead niche. Why not grow it in other things that we love too? We're big movie buffs too. We love our certain actors and stuff too. So we went to the comedy side actually and put it into the Chris Farley niche. We're big Chris Farley fans. And we've grown a fan page in the last month or two of Chris Farley fans of like almost 40,000 people now.
Yeah.
And
we haven't taken it to the level of creating our own store. Like we have EvilDeadFanClub.com for Evil Dead. We're still selling through third-party T-shirt sites like Teespring, Viral Style, those kind of companies. But we do a lot of sales through there. We have a Predator fan page for the movie Predator.
For the action movie
That
Predator.
has about 20,000 fans in it.
No
there's like
way.
30,000
And
fans.
so, but literally, like those are the big ones we're mentioning. But we literally have like 60 fan pages with, and not all of them are movie. Some are fishing, hunting, things like that.
Oh, yeah.
But
We have general ones.
But our favorites, the ones that we actually like enjoy working on, are the movie ones. You know.
Are those making you the most profit as well, as far as are they monetizing the best?
They are, and I don't know. And a lot of people ask me, they're like, "Oh, how do you bust that niche, or how do you do this?" And a lot of people do well with the general niches like fishing, hunting, things like that. I don't fish or hunt, so maybe that's why we're not doing well.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're not doing bad, but we're not killing it like we are in the movie niches. So I don't know if we're doing well in those niches because that's the niche to be in and we've struck something, or if it just reflects that because we're passionate
How much
about it and
passion
we're
we
into
have.
it that it's just sort of subconsciously we're doing it right. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I did another interview. So on one of my shows coming up, the last one I'll do of the year, I'm interviewing a couple of guys that are they help a lot of people with their Facebook marketing. And we were talking about Shane was actually talking about an empathy exercise that if he starts with somebody from scratch who's just getting started, or even someone making millions of dollars and they're going to do a new online campaign, he says one of the first things they do is pretend like you are your ideal client and go out and get online and search around and go to Amazon, go to Facebook, go buy some things you're looking for with that in mind, like be your client. And learn about them so that you can talk to their hopes, their fears, their concerns, their pain, their emotional state, and that's where they will write all their copy from. And then they'll change their offers up and usually give away the coolest, best stuff that they've got. They put it up front as a lead magnet, as like they call it cheese. They're like, hey, do you want a bite? And just giving away their best stuff so they can fill the audience, fill the stadium with all the right people. But so I don't know which it is for you guys, but I think that you're finding something you love and so you know how to talk to your audience is. I think
that's
great.
I think that's a key point because actually I just thought of this example is we're doing all things movie, film, TV show, and so before I had started, Game of Thrones is huge. And before I started watching Game of Thrones, which I do now, but before that, I was like, let's just try something in the Game of Thrones niche. And one of my designers was actually like, I know Game of Thrones, put this up. And I was like, okay, let's try that. Didn't sell anything. Like, it was horrible. And it was a quote with Tyrion Lannister. It was this little quote, and I was like, sure, whatever, throw it up there. I don't really know that niche, But then I started watching it, and I'm into the episode now, and I look back at that design, and I'm like, what? No way! I would never sell that shirt.
Yeah.
So it's more than just chasing what you think is a trend. You have to sort of know it and be passionate about it, or at least study it, like you just said.
Yeah. like, and the guys that are helping, and like we could even go out there and help someone that's struggling and trying to do that, and like, hey, find something you love and study it and love it, passionate about it, so.
All right. Well, guys, we've been actually talking now for a while, so I want to make sure we don't take this too long. Is there anything else you'd say to anybody watching right now about how to get started or how to take what they're doing to the next level?
I'd say, get with, like how we met you, get with a group of people that think like you and, that want the same things, maybe like a partner, like I have Danny and he has me.
Yeah, do something that...
Oh, and are you guys going to hug?
Oh, there we go.
That's so nice.
I would do something that you don't like mind doing. When we were doing network marketing, we hated hounding people and talking to them. But then when we got into e-commerce, and Scotty will admit that I took the lead on that, and I'm more of a technical work with Facebook kind of guy. And so when I got into the intricacies of placing ads and targeting, I was like, oh, this is cool. This is sort of fun. So if you can find a role in a passionate business that you don't mind doing or that you can start with, then do it. Like if you were to tell him to start doing all the technical Facebook work, it probably wouldn't work out very well.
I was more the guy that went out there and talked to people and didn't mind, hounding people like he was saying. So, it's something you love doing just like that you can maybe work together. Like I'll do this and you can do that. So it's like, kind of almost finding an accountability partner. I think it's crucial just so you're not by yourself trying to do everything at one time. Yeah. Which is great.
Scotty, you just said we met because we met because we went to an event to learn about more marketing. That's something that we're interested in. And then we both joined a mastermind around more marketing because we wanted to get better and better at it. And then it was and then we were able to connect and then work together to grow. So what I'd also share with everybody, and again, this is a common theme of, I think, pretty much everybody that I've interviewed, is that we've all gotten help. Like none of us are trying to do it on our own. You need to go ahead and find someone to help you. Scotty, you just said, I got my brother Danny to at least we can work together, but we also look up. Like we said, okay, I mean, when we talked about partnering on the podcast and what the future of your branding can be for books and how we can take The Evil Dead to cult classic horror, cult classic comedy, cult classic sci-fi. At one stage when you were thinking about the time and money investment in working together, I want to share this with everybody because a lot of people are like, they don't understand how decisions are made. And I'm like, okay, it sounds good for you, you bastards, you had success. Like, but there's a lot of fear and concern involved as well. But the thought process here, when you guys were saying, I said, I can help you with this, we can do this together, this is what I see, do you want to do it together? And at one stage you were like, I'm not sure, because there's some uncertainty about working with a new partner. I was like, well, guys, go do it yourself. Like, go do it. You can still do a podcast. You can do all of these things. And I remember, Danny, we were having the conversation, and you're like, man, no, I don't want to go have to learn all of that. I want some help. Like, can someone just tell me what to do? Now we can go do it. And so just, actually, hold on. Talk to everybody just a little bit about the decision making that you guys went through at the different stages of, Scotty, you said, getting with, I guess it's about investing in getting help. Like, what was, because that's not a happy place. You're like uncomfortable to take money and give it towards something. So talk a little bit from your perspective about any of those decisions, whether it's working with me or at any stage that you started investing in your education.
Well, even like the mastermind that we invested in to go, learn more about marketing that we are in with our friend Chris, that was a big decision. But
we actually had to borrow the money to join the mastermind. And I don't want to say like, go do that, because that's what they tell you in network marketing. It doesn't always work out that way. Like do whatever you have to borrow this much money, and then you're going to make it back instantly, which we've done a lot in our 3 years, and it didn't work. But it just so happened this time it did. We borrowed the money, we paid it back like within like 3 weeks, but because our business just went whoop. And I don't even think it was because of the mastermind, because we didn't attend the first session yet,
Yeah.
But it just had a way of working out. But then with you, Trevor, you can either have have the time or the money to do it. And at that point, we had made some money, and it was still early on. So it was like, do we want to let go of this money? Or,
Yeah.
But
we made the right choice.
But at the same time, we didn't want to be stuck in what we were just doing with no next step in sight.
Yeah.
And so really, if you want to move forward, if you want to advance in your business, and you don't have a lot of time, or you need help seeing that next step, it's definitely worth the investment.
Yeah, you got to be able to let go of that of the money that you have to go further in your life. Like if we didn't go to the mastermind, we never would have met you.
Yeah.
We would have never had a podcast. So thinking back, it's one of the best decisions we've ever made. So it's good to invest in yourselves, even if you're afraid to let go of that money. But you guys, it's something that you need to just think about and be able to do. So.
Well, and I want to just compliment you guys on the success you had in a short period of time already with the podcast. So this was an idea that was made in November. Must have been the first or second week in November. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as you made the decision that we were going to do this, we launched that freaking podcast less than 3 weeks later. Mm-hmm. And you had 5 episodes or 8 episodes already done. We did everything from the brand, the logo, the mission, we did everything in like 2 or 3 weeks. And I'm telling you guys, most people don't get things done that fast. And a lot of it comes, your personality and your coachability and fast action and just willingness to take that leap of faith gave you amazing success out of the box with like 3 successful Hollywood movie actors who came to say, I would love to be interviewed by you guys. So you took it and ran. And I think fast action here is a huge key. You've got to be willing to take that leap of faith. And it really can, Danny, be that type of success if you hire the right person, if you bring in the right team, and you'll know in your heart if you've got the right person on your team. I had to borrow, brother. I remember when I first went to my first Tony Robbins event, got to be over 20 years ago. Is that right? I don't know. Maybe that's not right. That sounds way too long.
You're not that old.
Oh my God. But I'm almost that old. No, I don't know if it was 20 years ago. Maybe it was like, I don't know, 14, 15 years ago. And I was struggling financially. And for me to invest in Tony's, he has a mastermind of sorts. When you go to his program, then you can go to other programs that he's got. And I didn't have the money. I gave him a credit card and said, don't charge it. There's $17 on that. I was hoping to get a refund when I came here because I wanted the money back for the event so I could pay for my plane flight. Now I'm screwed. But I knew I needed to be in that environment and grow. And like you guys, I had to find a way. And I was given 10 days to raise the money. And I had no money. Like, game over. But I had faith that I had already taken the leap of faith. I gave them my credit card. It was going to be billed on a certain day. I called them up and I said, don't charge it, because on the 10th day, there was no money. So by day 12, I got a check in the mail for $10,000.
Wow.
And here's how it happened. I haven't told this story to you guys. I haven't told this story to you guys, have I?
No.
Okay. So I didn't know what the hell I was going to do. I just knew I was going to find it. I was trying to borrow it. I was trying to do all kinds of things. A few months previous to this, I had avoided a car accident. I had a business where I had a boat, and I was moving my boat from one point to another. There's a big 30-foot long boat, and I was going through a traffic light, and a woman turned in front of me. And I could see her doing it. I could see her going through, and I was doing 50 miles an hour going right through. I had a green light, and she did not. And she did not see me, and I could tell. And so I'm going through the intersection. I'm like, no. And I start laying on the horn like, lady, like, I'm coming through. I got a 30-foot boat, I'm going to kill this poor woman in this little tin can. And I start pumping my brakes, and I completely jackknife myself in the middle of this in the middle of the intersection. I don't actually kill her. I don't even hit her. I look down after my boat comes off of the trailer, wrecks into the back of wrecks the trailer all up, wrecks the boat all up. I think it damaged the back of my truck. I can't remember now. And I looked down, and I couldn't, there wasn't even an inch between my door and her door. And I looked in, and she was scared to death, because I was in a truck and she was in this little car, that I almost freaking killed her. Okay.
Oh,
So
God.
we get out of there, and I had to hire guys to come like jack my boat's in the street, man, off the trailer. and it was like, "Gee," and people came running up, and they're like, "Oh, I can't believe that bitch turned in front of you." And I was like, well, thank God I didn't kill her, you know?
Yeah.
And the cops came, and they're like, well, was there an accident? I'm like, well, you think there's an accident? He's like, well, there was no impact with her car, so she wasn't at fault.
Oh my gosh.
There was no damage done at all, because there wasn't even a scratch. And so what happened is she called up her insurance company for months and gave them crap that I saved her life. And they were not required to do anything. And what happened was, is my phone ringing? What the heck? Hold on. All right, get back to finish this up. What happened was, she called her insurance company and gave them crap and said, pay him. He saved my life. The max on her policy was 10 grand. An insurance company that did not have to pay me, hold on,
Yeah.
sent me a check for $10,000.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Wow.
Have you ever heard of an insurance company that
No.
they said, hey, by the way, thanks for being a nice guy and not killing our gal. I'm going to send you 10 grand.
Wow.
And I had no idea this was coming, but I had taken that leap of faith that I knew I needed this next level.
Wow.
And I knew I'd find a way. I actually knew it. All right. Sorry for the break there. So that's a bit of my story on how that leap of faith actually paid off. So,
Yeah.
That's
That's
great.
it.
That's awesome. So you went and invested in the Tony Robbins instead of buying a new boat.
I patched up. Yeah. So yeah, I did.
Good.
I did. I had $5 more. So it was only $9,995 to invest in Tony. So I had $5 more to like go buy a beer or something,
Nice.
That's great.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
or ice cream cone or whatever. So
Yeah.
hey guys, great having you here. I can't wait to hear the next episode. Did you have fun with the Cult Classic Horror? With who did you interview?
Yeah, well, Teresa Tilly is the name of the actress. She'll be out on the 23rd, and we just released one last night going in depth about Evil Dead 2, since we're doing all things Evil Dead in December. So,
Right. Evil Dead month. And then you've got the Deadite Lounge that comes out. We've got some cool new podcasts we're going to be bringing out with, in 2016, we're going to
Yep.
do cult classic comedy, cult classic sci-fi,
Sci-fi.
and
Oh, yeah.
just an expanding business around it with broadcasting. And we've got books coming and all kinds of cool things around this cult classic niche. So can't wait to share that with you guys. Make sure you go to greatnessquest.com/horror. And you'll get a discount coupon to get anything from their store. And then, guys, it's been awesome having you. I got cameras all over the place here, and
I love it. It's been so much fun here.
Yeah, man.
great time.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, the nightmare before Christmas. Go out there and find a specific niche and make it happen. And next week, by the way, for all my viewers, we've got an amazing end of year episode. I just shot it with some good new partners that I'm working with, and they're creating huge success with their Facebook marketing. So they're going to talk a little bit more about what you guys are doing as far as with your marketing, but about how you can do product launches that are like 6 and 7 figures. Is like they can just do it like this. But some of the stuff we talked about today about knowing your market and how you talk to them, and how, all of that is the same thing. So you're going to learn a lot on the next one, and I can't wait to see you guys every week. I'm going to bring you somebody else amazing to take your life and your business to the next level. Guys, can't wait to connect with you next.
Yes.
Thanks, Trevor.
Man. I got to keep my sexy bald head open.
Yeah, that air conditioning. All right, bitchin'. So, that's nice. Woohoo!
Looking
Can you
good?
see the
Looking
camera?
good.
You can see the camera, right?
I can see it, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't care.
I have my hand on his leg right now. Is that cool?
It's a little creepy
Okay.
for the.
All right, I'm good. I think we're all... Yep, okay. I'm good over here.
Okay. All right. See, this is so ridiculous. Is that what like a Christmas?
That's one of the Chris. Oh, I gotta turn that off.
Oh yeah.
Oh, his wife's calling.
Oh yeah, 'cause you got to
Texters
put
that-
that on airplane mode, right? Because you're recording. That stopped.
Yeah, hold on. Let me do that. And then I'll text her and tell her that I'm busy.
The way the camera is, it's probably going to cut you off right on the eye.
Okay.
So
Like, I should be like this.
yeah, that's a little weird. Why can you shift your?
Greatness Quest is also available for download on iTunes and Stitcher. See the link in the description below.